Have you ever looked at an English word and just thought, how in the world am I supposed to say that? Well, trust me, you are not alone. Today we're going to tackle one of the biggest hurdles for English learners, pronunciation. Let's jump in and clear up some of those tricky words together. You know, this is really the heart of the problem, and it's something that can trip up even the most advanced speakers. English spelling is, well, it's a bit of a trickster. The letters you see on the page don't always line up with the sounds you're supposed to make. And that's exactly why so many common words are so easy to get wrong. So here's what we're going to do. In this guide, we're going to break down 12 words that cause a ton of confusion. For each one, we'll look at the common mistake, and then we'll practice the correct way to say it. And don't worry, you'll see the phonetic script on the slides, which is going to be our helpful guide through all of this. Okay, let's dive into this. Are you ready for our first set of tricky words? Let's go. First up, we have iron. Now, it's so tempting to pronounce that R-O-N at the end, which makes it sound like this. Iron. Again, the error is iron. But the correct way is actually much smoother. It almost swallows that O sound. Listen closely. Iron. Let's hear the correct version one more time. Iron. Next, we've got the word archive. This is the first of a few words we'll see today where the ch is the sneaky part. A lot of people say it with a ch sound, like in church. So they'll say archive. Again, incorrectly, archive. But in this word, that ch actually makes a hard K sound. So the correct pronunciation is archive. Listen for that K sound again, archive. Now this one is really interesting. The word flower. It looks simple, right? But it's often mispronounced as just one syllable, which makes it sound exactly like the floor you walk on, floor. Again, that's the mistake, floor. The correct way to say it actually has two syllables and sounds just like the word flower. Listen, flower. One more time, the right way, flower. And here we have the word beer. A super common error is to mix it up with the drink, beer, pronouncing it like this, beer. Again, that's incorrect, beer. The correct vowel sound is actually more open. It's the same sound you hear in words like air or care. So listen to the correct version, bear. Can you hear that difference? Let's try it again, bear. All right, let's look at height. That spelling, with the E-I-G-H, it really makes you want to pronounce it just like the number 8, which would sound like this, hate. Again, the common error is hate, but that's not it. The correct sound is a long I, just like in the words light or right. So the correct pronunciation is height. Let's hear it one more time, nice and clear, height. And the final word for this section is heaven. The mistake here is all in that first vowel. It often gets stretched out into a long E sound, like this, heaven. One more time, the air, heaven. The correct sound is actually a short, crisp eh, just like in the word bed. So the correct way to say it is heaven. Listen again, heaven. Fantastic work. You're really getting the hang of this. Let's move on to our next set of words. We've got 6 more to master, so let's keep going. Okay, so just like archive from our first section, our next word, architect, has that same tricky cha. Do you remember the pattern? It's not a cha sound. The common error is to say architect. Again, incorrectly, architect. But just like before, this should be a hard K sound. So the correct pronunciation is architect. Let's hear it one more time, architect. Next up is feather. Does this feel familiar? It should. It's just like the word heaven we looked at a minute ago. The common mistake is pronouncing that first vowel as a long E sound, feather. Again, that's the error, feather, but the correct sound is that same short eh vowel, just like in bed. So the correct way to say it is feather. Once more, feather. Now, this is a great example of a totally different kind of error. This one is all about word stress. Take the word police. The mistake is putting all the emphasis or stress on the first syllable, like this, police. Again, the wrong way, police. For this word, the stress should actually fall on the second syllable, and that first vowel becomes a really soft, unstressed sound. So the correct pronunciation is police. Listen to that stress shift, police. And here's another one for our ch as K sound pattern, hierarchy. The common error here is to pronounce the very end with a chi sound, like this, hierarchy. One more time, the mistake, hierarchy. But you probably know the rule by now, right? The correct ending is a key sound. Let's listen, hierarchy. One last time, the right way, hierarchy. All right, and our final ch example, chemistry, follows the exact same pattern.
The incorrect way is with a ch sound right at the beginning. Chemistry. Again, that's wrong. Chemistry. I'm sure you've guessed it by now. That ch should make a hard K sound. The correct pronunciation is chemistry. One more time, chemistry. Our final word example is balloon. And just like with police, this is all about word stress. The common mistake is to stress that first syllable, making it sound like ballon. Again, the air is ballon, but the stress should be on the second syllable with a long oo sound. The correct pronunciation is balloon. Listen again for that stress at the end, balloon.
All right, we've gone through 12 very specific words, but let's just zoom out for a second and think about the bigger picture. Why is it so important to master these sounds? What does it really do for your English communication skills? So the crucial point here is that mastering pronunciation does 3 really key things for you. First, it enhances your clarity. It makes sure your message is understood exactly the way you intended. Second, it builds your confidence as a speaker. I mean, when you know you sound correct, you just speak more freely, right? And third, it actually improves your listening because your ear gets better trained to catch the correct sounds when other people are speaking. So as we wrap this up, just remember that improvement really comes from consistent, mindful practice. The first step is just being aware of these things. And by being here today, you've already taken a huge step forward. And that brings us to the end. The journey to really clear pronunciation is an ongoing one, and thinking about your own experience is a super powerful tool. So I'll leave you with this question to think about. Which English words give you the most trouble? Identifying them is the very next step on your journey to becoming an even more confident English speaker.